right after the last game of the season, then we have a bowl game. So I kind of started my draft progress, training early. So around the mid-December, I flew out to Phoenix, Arizona, trained at a popular workplace called Exos. I was out there all the way through the combine. I was out there all the way before my pro day. And just basically out there, I was, running, 40s, trying to get my 40s right, shuttles, all the things you really must do at the combine. And I ended up getting hurt, actually. I strained my quad through the process, so that kind of set me back a little bit. I didn't really participate in the NFL combine. I only did a couple drills. I did the receiver drills. So I didn't really get to showcase, everything at a full speed. So I stayed down there for another month to get healthy for South Carolina's pro day. I came back fully healthy, and I showed the scouts, what they needed to see.
Now, Pharoh, you speaking about your preparation for the NFL draft and just the rigors that you have to do. Now, you mentioned the 40 time and the shuttle time. Scouts really take a lot of stock in those measurables and those numbers. But, some scouts may take a lot of stock in game film. And when you turn on that game film, your talent can't be denied. Now, your versatility is one thing that sticks out to me when I turn on the film. Again, you mentioned you were recruited at South Carolina as a defensive back, switched to wide receiver. So that already tells me that you're very versatile, that you can take on, a lot of responsibility and thrive with that responsibility. Now, what can an NFL team hope to get from you if they choose you in this upcoming draft?
They're going to get a playmaker. They're going to get somebody who's going to step on the field every time he gets the ball, every time he gets open and catch the ball. He's going to get a lot of yards after the catch. That's my main thing when I get the ball. That's probably my best asset. Gaining yards after the catch. So, turning a 4-step slant into a 60-yard touchdown. So that's kind of what my game, is built around, and my versatility. So they're going to get a playmaker, who loves to help his team win.
Yeah, that versatility allows you to switch from defensive back and allows you to become a 2-time All-SEC wide receiver. So NFL scouts, NFL GMs, NFL teams, I think you need to really take a strong look at this young man. He is definitely a playmaker, and of course he's from North Carolina, and we breed nothing but talent around these parts. This is just my humble opinion.
One thing I really respect about you, Pharoh, is something that you said right after your pro day is that, I'm not going to be a guy that's going to wow you with my numbers and testing, but I'm a football player. As a guy that played ball at the collegiate level, I was in the weight room with a lot of guys that could put a lot of weight on the bars and lift you out of the gym. I was with a lot of guys that had a bunch of speed and whatnot, but it didn't transfer over to the football field. They couldn't play ball. And that's the name of the game, being able to play. As Daimeon said earlier, you turn on that game film and your talent is undeniable. But what do you feel sets you apart from the other wide receivers in this draft class? Because it is a deep draft class at wide receiver this year.
Basically, just setting me apart from the rest is, I can line up, a majority I played in the slot. I didn't play too much on the outside, but that doesn't mean I can't play the outside, It's just, learning more routes, learning different coverages. So I can definitely play the outside. But like I said, just being able to line up anywhere on the field, sets me apart from the other receivers. I can line up in the slot, the outside. I can line up in the running back position. I can actually run the ball out of the backfield. You can also line me up at, punt return and kick return. I can excel at all those, positions on the field. So that's what kind of sets me apart, Like I said, right at the pro day, all the other receivers, top 10 receivers that's in the class this year, probably have better numbers than me, 40-wise. But, when you step on that field, you want to play football, catch the football, make plays. You're not going out there, run a 40-yard dash. So, basically, I'm a game player, and, that's what they're going to find out.
Your 40-yard dash says one thing, Pharoh, but when I look at the game film, when I see you live and in person, I've seen you separate yourselves from so many DBs. I've seen you run away from so many different secondaries. How do you explain your numbers being one thing, but once you get on the field, it's like you step into another gear?
I don't really know how to explain it, but, going through the whole process, just talking to, a lot of numerous scouts and receiver coaches, and they even, they already said, Pharoh, don't worry about your 40-yard dash. We've seen your tape. We know you can run. 40 is just something, we look at, for the future. So they know, all the scouts and receiver coaches know I wasn't going to blaze them with a fast 40, and they've seen my game film, and they've seen my tape. So that's kind of the good thing, about me, that I had, great tape to back up my 40 time. And, a lot of teams aren't too worried about, me running that 40 time that I posted. They know I can run them a game film.
Yeah, Pharoh, I think I compare you a lot to Deshaun Jackson for the Redskins. I remember specifically for the NFL Combine in his pro day, he ran like a 4.7. And people were like shocked, like, wow, we thought he was faster because no one catches him from behind. His game film says otherwise. He was very versatile, returns punts. You are a lot like him. I think you're a lot more physical, more bigger than he is. So I see great things for you, man, in the future. You're going to make a pretty penny playing out of that slot position or whatever position they put you in the NFL, because game tape does not lie, my friend. It does not lie. And again, I just want to thank you for coming on. North Carolina boy who will make it big in the NFL.
Thank you.
Once again, we're speaking with University of South Carolina great two-time All-SEC selection Pharoh Cooper. Pharoh, wish you all the best in today's draft and moving forward in the weekend. Got to have you on again on the All Things Sport podcast once you're selected to see how those OTAs and rookie mini camps and all that good stuff is going. Very, very, very impressive young man. I feel what he says, man, because, I was one of those guys. I didn't test very well, but I could play football, and that's what it really amounts to at the end of the day.
Yeah, Pierre, I don't get that. I never got that. I'm the one who watches the game, and I understand that if you play wide receiver or if you play cornerback, they want you to run a certain time. But if you don't, if you're slow, if you can't play, it's going to show on tape, right? I've never seen anyone have outstanding game tape and then they can't play. But I've definitely seen people who go to the combine and have ridiculous, outstanding numbers and they can't play. So, Pharoh Cooper, do your thing in the NFL. I will definitely keep an eye out for you. I know we're going to have him back on the show, Pierre. Very, very outstanding young man from the state of North Carolina. Love it when a Tar Heel, well, I'm not even going to say Tar Heel. I love it when a North Carolinian does big things.
This man is an NC State fan through and through. Ladies and gentlemen, if you love NC State, you think you love NC State, but you have no admiration like this man, Daimeon Banks, has for the North Carolina State Wolfpack. He is the reason why I stay up late at night during basketball seasons. And I used to drink my sorrows away during football season. And
the thing about it is my wife, LaShawn, she is a undergraduate. She has an undergraduate degree from UNC. She is in the Keenan Flagler Master's program right now at UNC. We are close friends, like family friends with the provost at UNC. I love NC State, man. I back the pack.
Pack life.
Thank you to my older brother George Banks for putting me on. He had the NC State hockey jersey. And NC State doesn't even have a hockey team, but it was a hockey style jersey. It was a sweatshirt. And he, you get hand-me-downs when you're a kid. So he handed down that sweatshirt to me. I love NC State ever since, man. I'm just an NC State fan.
It was I remember that vividly. It was an NC State shirt and it was a Carolina shirt, but no one in our household liked Carolina, so that shirt didn't get a lot of run.
Nobody in the house is a Carolina fan. How is no one in the house a Carolina fan? A family of 17 children, 12 boys, 5 girls, and no one is a Carolina fan except for Bonsoir, because my brother Bonsoir, he did graduate from UNC.
And he traded. He was an NC State fan. That needs to be known. He was an NC State fan growing up and then went to Carolina and gonna tell me, and I hope you're listening, Bonsoir. He's going to tell me, I'm going to go to Carolina, but I'm going to always be a State fan. I ain't going to trade on him. I bet money. This man comes home from his first weekend at Carolina, and I'm looking at the games, and he's sitting beside me. He talks like, oh, man, we ranked number 9. I'm like, oh, snap. State ranked number 9? When did we get up that high? He don't say nothing. So the next time the rankings come up at the bottom of the screen, it's North Carolina that's ranked number 9. I ain't spoke to him since.
Yeah, man. Been an NC State fan my whole life, but I don't mind rooting for people that I know. So I root for the provost at UNC, Mr. Jim Dean. That's my guy. He's a fellow Baltimore Orioles fan, and the Orioles are still leading the American League East Division.
Barely.
But I digress. Now, Pierre, we are bringing back a segment in the show that we haven't done in quite some time. It was a fan favorite when we introduced it during our first couple shows. So we're going to take this quick commercial break, pay a couple bills, play a couple commercials. I'm going to get up. I'm going to stretch my knee because I'm old and decrepit. I'm as my mom used to say, I'm as old as Methuselah. So I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna stretch my bones. You stay right there. We'll be right back with the All Things Sport podcast on Spreaker Radio.
Join us every Friday for the All Things Sport podcast with Daimeon Banks and Pierre Banks on Spreaker Radio.
Pierre Banks here, thanking you all for listening to the All Things Sport podcast. Please subscribe for much more of the show. Also, join myself and Rudy Mondragon for In My Humble, The Split Decision, where we discuss all things boxing and what is just our humble opinion on the In My Humble YouTube channel.
What you ain't heard?
Somebody done told you wrong, punk.
It's the All Things Sport podcast with Daimeon Banks and Pierre Banks.
Latifah, party's right here.
On Spreaker Radio.
Welcome back to the All Things Sport podcast. I'm Daimeon. He's Pierre. Had to stretch these old bones. I'm old as Methuselah. So, I'm back. I'm feeling good. Now, we're going to bring back an oldie but goodie. When we premiered this segment, people just fell in love with it, man. So we had to bring it back. We haven't done it in a while. So, without further ado, bruh, for real? Our friend of the show, Al Daniel, his favorite segment on the show. So since Al is a show friend, he's a regular, I'm going to and you're his colleague at the University of South Carolina, I'm going to let you start off the bruh for real because you have breaking news, bruh for real.
This just in, Daimeon, breaking into the Banks Boy Studios here in Columbia, South Carolina. As I've been sitting here watching the NFL draft, I noticed on my screen that there's a picture of a very large man, and a still Instagram shot with a gas mask on and a bong attached to that gas mask. Well, that large man is former Ole Miss offensive tackle, a man that was projected to go as high as third in this draft, Laremy Tunsil.
Bruh, for real? Laremy Tunsil is tripping. What are you doing?
Just minutes before the NFL draft, Laremy Tunsil's Twitter released a video, not a picture, a video of him taking a bong hit with the gas mask on. And then, in the most idiotic move of possibly the year of 2016, he removes the mask, letting us know that it is indeed him, Laremy Tunsil.
Bruh, for real?
Now you go from being possibly the third pick in the draft to now there's been, as I watch now, there's been 2 offensive tackles already selected above him. Daimeon, back to you.
Yeah, he just lost himself a lot of money with that tweet. It's possibly an old tweet. There were no recorded failed drug tests at this year's combine or anything. So, and he was at the combines. I don't think, he hasn't been smoking recently, but that is him. He took the mask off, unless it's some computer generated, twin of Laremy Tunsil. Bruh, for real? That's crazy, man. Like, put it down for just a second. Just put it down for a second, man. This is the rest of your life here. So, you can pick that habit back up later on, man. But just get in the door first.
We don't know when this video was taken, but it's very unfortunate that it was released minutes before the draft.
Bruh, for real? You started off with your breaking news, Laremy Tunsil. We're going to stay in the NFL. I'm going with Sam Bradford, quarterback, Philadelphia Eagles. Bruh, for real? Sam Bradford, former Heisman Trophy winner from the University of Oklahoma. Started off with the St. Louis Rams, now the LA Rams, but he played for them when they were the St. Louis Rams. Played for the Philadelphia Eagles with now fired head coach Chip Kelly, who's at the San Francisco 49ers now, but I digress. Sam Bradford had a pretty decent year, had the best year of his career, which has been injury-plagued in the NFL, with Chip Kelly last year. Signed a 2-year contract in the